Ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Now, the videos continue of rebalanced tier 10 tanks. We're going to continue to do a few more because I feel that a few does need to be spoken about. Now, the Sheridan. Today we're going to look at the Sheridan. Now, the Sheridan hasn't been changed that much. It hasn't been changed. Overall, I think it's been nerfed, but it hasn't had that much of a change. And I don't feel that it does change the gameplay so much. But what this tank has now got, we're used to this sidewinder camouflage. But Wargaming have gave it a new camouflage, the Wavebreaker. And to be fair, as much as I like the sidewinder, I don't mind this tank, you know, this camouflage. I actually kind of like it, to be fair. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. But overall, I probably do prefer this one. I like the You're Next, etc. I like the laser. But yeah, Wargaming have gave it a new legendary camouflage. So the Sheridan has always been a fantastic tank. Of course, those of you that wasn't around when this tank had missiles, absolutely insane. Even though I do think the tank is better without the missiles, it's weird. It's better without the missiles, but it's less overpowered. How does that make sense, Meadsy? Well, obviously the missiles, you could do things that no other tank can do. You could fire missiles over freaking rocks, etc. But you really had to know how to use missiles. If you didn't know how to use the missiles, if you didn't know how to steer the missiles, etc., then yeah, the tank was absolutely useless. But yeah, Wargaming decided to remove the missiles, give it a normal shells, and I do think that is for the better. But I do think the tank is now better for that because everybody can perform well in it. Not only those that only know how to use the missiles, everybody can perform. It has the high alpha gun. It's a light tank. You could go very, very fast around the map, spank the enemy, and then run away. 500 plus damage into the enemy, and then you can run away. So the changes, the view range has been set to 265 meters. The shell speed has been reduced, but it has got a little bit of a buff. The aim time has been reduced. So that's the only buff, really, the aim time. Was that something I would probably change? Probably not, to be fair. I don't know if I would have even changed anything, you know? I think the tank is decent as it is. It's one of those tanks that if you can't pen the enemy, it's not too bad because you could just load HE and do some damage and then run away. And that's what I liked about the tank. It's got no armor. However, I say it's got no armor. It's still also got one of the best freaking armor in the game because it's frustrating. You come side onto this tank like in a Death Star or something big, and how many times have you bounced a freaking shot from the rear or from the side? It's frustrating. It's one of the most frustrating armored tanks in the game because it's got no armor. You should not be able to bounce shots like that, but it does. And when you are coming up against the Sheridan and you get them bounces, honestly, it is really freaking frustrating. As you can see, 40 on the turret and 25 on the hull. However, it does have a lot of spaced armor. So if people are shooting HE, if people are shooting heat, then it's just going to absorb that. So people shoot HE at you in certain places, they're not going to do much damage. Like a Death Star could come side on, hit you from the side, as long as it's like above the track, they're only going to do a few hundred damage rather than the 1600 damage that they can do. So the DPM, 2,474. Now, of course, we are running this with calibrated shells because it is a tank that really, really does rely on that HE and that heat. To be fair, you're not going to pen that much with your APCR. You're going to really rely on the heat and the HE. The reload time is basically 13.5 seconds. Your penetration, 241 with your APCR, but 341 with your heat. Also 99 with your HE. It's a pretty decent HE pen. To be honest, I don't use HE in the way it's supposed to be used. I don't use the HE in this tank to get more damage. I use HE just to get some damage and then run away. Like, especially if you're against a heavy tank or anything like that and you can't pen and you don't want to wait around, just splash them and run away. You're still going to do some damage because you do have that higher alpha gun. 560 alpha on your APCR, 490 on your heat, and 680 on your HE. So again, if you're using heat, yeah, you're going to do the damage, you're going to pen them, but you're doing quite a lot less. Now, HE, you could do up to 680. So even if you just splash them, you're still going to do a couple of hundred of damage if just for a splash. Aim time 4.4, which, yeah, for the gun it's got, you can expect that. The same as the gun dispersion, 0.342. Has 10 degrees of gun depression with a top speed of course, 65 kilometers per hour. So, yeah, it's one of those shoot and run tanks. You know, it's definitely one of those shoot and runs. You take the shot, you run away, and then you go on, whilst you're reloading, you go on to your next target. That's the best way to play the tank, really. Of course, not everybody plays it like a light tank. Of course, they don't. They play it like a normal medium tank. But yeah, if you've got the map, a map like this, yeah, of course, you can't play it like a light tank because it's such a small map. Now, of course, there's the Jaegeru, so I didn't expect him to be there. But we do manage to get a pen, even with APCR. I thought that was going to bounce at the last second there, but yeah, I got away with that. But yeah, I took a nasty shot. So I've lost half of my hit points already, which isn't good. But luckily for me, I'm stuck here at the moment, but I do have my team for a bit of backup. Now, of course, when these tanks I know are reloading, yeah, I could just quickly poke out, take the shot, and do a massive amount of damage into these guys. So, yeah, the Foch is pretty much a one-shot. The T62 is a one-shot. I don't want to poke out right now because there isn't a mill there. But as soon as I know that he's reloading, I could just back up, take the shot, and he's only on 48 hit points. The same as the T62. It wouldn't be a decent battle if I didn't have my team for cover. I don't want to poke out right now because there's a Jaegeru that's just sitting there. So I've got to be patient. And yeah, being patient sometimes is not good in this tank. You want to get around. You want to use the mobility to get around. But yeah, a map like this, of course, you can't really do that. So the E5 took a shot from the Jaeger. I'm like, dude, just back up, let me out, and I'll take him out. Like, he's right there. I'll be able to take out that guy. But yeah, he didn't move, so unfortunately now he's going to have reloaded. Is he going to reload? No, I managed to get the shot and kill him. I really wanted to take him because he can kill me in one shot. He's one of the only tanks left that can kill me with one shot. So taking him out was an absolute must. So there's the TVP. That was silly. That was absolutely silly of me, like, to take the shot from the TVP and to take the shot from the Emil 2. I didn't need to. I really didn't need to. So that could have cost us the game. And again, he gets a nice shot just as I'm backing up. I did get greedy, to be fair. I did get really greedy, and I ultimately paid the price. And that is what happens in this tank. I was just really, really greedy. But let's have another game. Let's this time go on Rockfield. Now, this can be a bit different, this map, you know, because you can get around. You can, of course, I'm going to poke forward. Always where I go in the mediums or any tank, really, is just go to the bush, see if I can spot anyone, cross in, and quickly get the shot off, and then I can relocate. So there's my shot. I could back up, look where my team is. They are all with me, so I don't really want to run away because I have that cover from my team. And I could just wait. I could just be patient whilst I'm on a reload. Just be very patient. See if there is anyone over here. Can't see anyone in that corner yet, but there is quite a few tanks. And hello, 50B. What is this guy doing? I have no freaking idea, but he's not looking at me. He doesn't want to look at me. I'm happy. You know, don't look at me. I'm happy that you're not looking at me because I'm just sitting here. Look, I'm just enjoying life, and I do manage to take him out. So yeah, no idea what that 50B was doing, but that is one tank down. A very, very good tank down. So at this point, where do I go? There is the M60 there. Our AMX 50B is about to die. I'm looking, okay, there's no one around by A. No one is spotted. Ah, there's an E100 all on his own. There's that guy. I want to get away from him as much as I can and isolate this E100. 700 hit points done to that guy. Very, very nice high roll. And this is where I can actually bully him. But I've got to be careful because that E6 is behind me and he can push me. If he pushes me, I'm almost dead. And that is exactly what he's doing. So now I'm like, okay, I have to take a shot, even from the E100. I have to take this shot. And I do. Look, 438. That guy tried HE in because he thought he could pen that HE. But yeah, even though he's still done 400 damage, it's better taking 400 damage than it is 1,000 damage. So yeah, don't try and HE these guys. Like, it's best just to not do it. Just shoot APCR or heat. Honestly, there is certain places where you can HE these guys, but I don't even try unless it's the back of the turret. I don't even really try to HE these guys. It's just not worth it. So right now I've got 1 kill, 3,100 damage, and that there was a poor miss. That really was a bad miss on my point of view. But there's all 3 of these guys around. There's still 6 of us, so no one's looking at me. Get a nice shot into the TVP there, just over 600 damage. And even now, that guy's gone. The Kranvagen's not looking. The E3's not looking. So it is just making it very easy indeed. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go for the E3. Can I do a bit of HE? Nah, not worth it. Just splash a bit of, or throw a bit of APCR. 4.3k damage. Now it is a 6 versus 1. Am I going to get any more damage? Can I get a little bit more damage before the game ends? Turn to HE just to maximize my damage. Yes, I did, and I managed to break the 5k. So, yeah, very good tank. Very enjoyable tank. I don't think the changes, the rebalances made any difference, really. It is still an absolutely fantastic light tank when played correctly. So, I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye-bye.